is still chilling with us. We are live and it is Ekse on channel 263. Don't you think the show has been that great so far?
Exactly, I'm enjoying it.
Exactly,
I'm
exactly.
enjoying
Enjoying it, as Awonke just mentioned. Now we do have someone on the line. Her name is Najeeba. She is actually going to be speaking to us via Skype. You guys cannot see her because unfortunately she's a little ill. But other than that, she is from the Liberty Promenade Mall. We'll be speaking to her about the next generation musical showcase that they're actually having. It's so exciting. It'll happen this Saturday, guys. Let's listen to Najeeba. Najeeba, hi. Are you there? Hi. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
This is such a warm welcome.
I want to find out more about this competition that's taken place. You call it the Next Generation Showcase. Tell me, when was it established and why?
Sure. So the showcase started many years ago. It was first in the form of a recycled fashion show, and just last year we changed it to a musical. So the event is an opportunity for the learners from primary schools and high schools in Mitchell's Plain to represent their school in a self-choreographed musical. And each school has to pull together a team of 8 learners and represent their school on stage for 5 minutes. And they can include music and dancing and poetry and any other expression that's relevant to the theme. You asked why we started this campaign. I think kids in general, but specifically kids in the Cape Flats and areas like Mitchell's Plain are extremely talented. And I think when you look at the big competitions on TV, the SA's Got Talents and the Idols, you often see kids from areas like the Cape Flats who perform really well because I think they're so skilled naturally in the singing and dancing and the performing arts. And another reason why we started this campaign was to offer a prize to the top performing schools. So the prize value for this competition is 87,000 Rand, and the top performing schools receive a share of this prize money, which is used towards refurbishments to their schools.
That's amazing. Another question I'd actually like to add, because it's so involved in the earthly things of this world, you know, because this topic is today, it's called Save the Earth. Najeeba, can you talk about why you chose this specific topic for this year?
Sure. I think each year we change the theme. So previously we've had embracing diversity, we've had bullying, we've had drug awareness, we've had women abuse and domestic violence. And the reason is because we try to make what is relevant in these kids' lives and in the lives of the community, give them a platform for them to speak about it. And it's so powerful to see them, these kids, share their perspective on how a specific topic is affecting, you know, their little world. And then the thought, I think, behind Save the Earth was Liberty Promenade Mall is owned by Liberty 2 Degrees and Liberty Group. And our owners are extremely passionate about conversations that promote sustainability and what we can do to protect the earth. So in the mall, specifically over the past year or so, we've done so many different initiatives and campaigns that speaks to this theme. We've brought in art sculptures that is made from recycled material to encourage and create awareness about repurposing recycled items. We also visited schools in Mitchell's Plain to educate kids about what Earth Hour is, how they can use electricity more wisely, and to introduce the concept of solar energy. And I think environmental issues have always been important, but there's certainly a more heightened awareness about it now.
Yeah, I appreciate that so much because global warming is actually a real issue right now. You mentioned earlier that there's a prize that the schools win. I want to know what the community and the people around the Promenade Mall can take out of this competition. And also, how do you ensure that the schools don't misuse the money?
We have auditors who are part of the campaign, and we have very strict rules and regulations that's aligned to it. So the schools receive the prize money, it's paid into their bank account, and we have the right to request what the funds have been used towards. And most of the time, the schools, we have a feedback session with them, and they show us whether they've put up a carport for kids who need shelter when they wait for their transport in the afternoon, whether they've used it for ceilings that has been repaired, or walls that needed to be built, or fences that needed to be replaced.
You mentioned about what the school needs, like fences and buildings and shelters and things like that. Have things like that happened throughout the time of the course of this project or event that has been happening? Have you seen changes?
Absolutely. Absolutely, we most certainly have. And I think the list of the schools, the needs are growing constantly and are always ever changing from one school to the next. And that's really where this competition came about, because a few years ago when I started here, in order to introduce this concept to the principal, we needed to drive to every single school in Mitchell's Plain to introduce themselves and to understand what their challenges are. And all those schools are challenged with vandalism. They often have break-ins. Their cable lines are stolen. They sometimes don't have electricity. Their ceiling boards are broken. Their doors are kicked in. So they constantly need to keep their hand on things. That certainly that they do have security. They do have caretakers who takes care of it. But I think their needs are very different to schools in different, more fortunate communities.
I know that the schools in and around Mitchell's Plain can participate in this event. How do you select which schools get to take part?
Well, there's 66 schools in Mitchell's Plain alone. Did you know that?
I had no idea. Definitely, I'm from Dulwich. I had no way of knowing that.
Yeah, so there's 66 schools. I was surprised by it myself. And the schools go through a registration process. We send invitations to all the schools in Mitchell's Plain. And they visit the mall. The selected schools then visit the mall for a briefing session. They receive an information pack with brochures and posters. We discuss the rules and expectations of the competition. And this year we have 14 schools who are participating. And these are primary schools, high schools, and special needs schools.
So it ranges from various ages, because you're saying high school and primary schools at the same time. And I think that's so brilliant, eh? Another thing I actually wanted to add, hey, when does the event take place? I know I mentioned it's the 24th of August. Yes, and how does people actually pay? Do they pay to come to the door, or is it prepaid? Combi ticket? Where can people actually find tickets to get involved and to see this event taking place?
So the event takes place on Saturday, the 24th of August, from 12 until 3. It's in the food district at Liberty Promenade in Mitchell's Plain, and the entry is free. So you can come around a little earlier. You can do your shopping, you can grab a meal in the food court, and then watch an amazing, inspiring show.
So if you have your cousin, your auntie, and your sisters, you also have that uncle, and then they can all come and actually see. It's amazing. So guys, if you're free on a Saturday, you should go to this event.
Yes, definitely. Yes. I like this project so much, and I want to know what your plans are for the project. Where do you guys see it going? Do you maybe want to venture into other townships, or is just Mitchell's Plain based?
At this stage, it's just Mitchell's Plain, but we'll see. I think it certainly has legs to grow and become bigger and include more competitors. And I think for this competition, for this year specifically, what we're looking at achieving is just for people to become more conscious and aware about how their behavior can affect what's happening in the environment. I think that when we look at the water crisis that took place in Cape Town last year, there were small things we did. We took shorter showers, we saved water and used it in our gardens. So my suggestion and just my 5 cents that I'd like to add is to everyone watching or listening that the next time you visit your shopping center or your supermarket or your mall, bring along a reusable bag instead of purchasing a plastic bag, because it certainly is a fantastic start to contributing to the environment.
Wow. Najeeba, I'm not sure if you mentioned, but how has this actually started, in the beginning? How did you guys come up with something like this? And how long is it running now?
So in total, I've been here for 7 years, and over the past 7 years, we had it started as the Generation Green competition, which was a recycled fashion show. So kids had to create garments made from recycled material. And as the years went along, we just wanted to pump a different energy and vibe into the campaign, and it's now musical. And the reason why we've changed the concept is because we've done our research with the schools, and so many teachers and principals are saying, hey, we've got kids who are incredibly talented in musical and performing abilities. Let's give them a platform to, showcase those talents.
And I mean, Cape Town is very talented, and Mitchell Spain is one of them. I know also many communities are just as talented, as Mitchell Spain, and we don't even know about it. So this is brilliant and it's awesome.
Yeah, and for people that would like to get in touch with you guys, where can they find you? Maybe on social media?
Absolutely. We've got a Facebook page, so it's called Liberty Promenade Shopping Centre. And we'll most certainly add images and video links after the event. And to those who are going to be in the vicinity on Friday or Saturday, we'll also have a pledge board in centre, and you can engage with our brand ambassadors to learn more about what you can do to save the earth.
We appreciate you making your time for us.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Right now, though, we do have another insert to go to the sport. This happened. Let's come forward. Let's check out what happened.
An honor for me and privilege to be an ambassador for Engine and the Engine knockout competition. I think that what you can clearly see, which is very interesting, the level of football in the different provinces, and for me that is a challenge. But obviously, there are going to be different styles of play, different ways the different academies or teams play. And you certainly can see the difference in, from Durban to Bloemfontein to Eastern Cape to Gauteng, and obviously now to the Western Cape. But I think what I've seen here more is that there's more, and again, it's interesting where there's one or two strikers that stand out in these teams that are playing here in the Western Cape, and that is one of our challenges in the national team level, is finding strikers. Finding the next Benny McCarthy, finding the Sean Bartlett. If I miss one or two, I'm sorry, but that is the key, and that's the challenge for us. But you generally at these tournaments, what I've seen are one or two strikers that stand out where you don't see it in the other provinces. So that's interesting for me. But again, the level of football, again, I look in the Western Cape, and if you want me to be totally honest, Gauteng is where the level of football, the way they're playing, the intensity that is played, is at certainly at a higher rate than it is in all the other provinces. So again, I think that's the challenge is for the players to develop and motivate themselves, so that when they get to the champions in Gauteng, they certainly will know and see the difference of level of performance in the other provinces.
So man, how does it feel to win the ends and knockout?
Oh, it feels, I can't describe it. It's wonderful. Oh, there's so many words for it, but it's just, I'm just glad we made it.
Okay, I know they beat you guys in the first game, right? So
Yes.
what went through your mind after they equalized?
I thought I did it again. I messed up again. But I never let that go to my head, because my coach always said, make negative things positive things. So I just turned it into a positive.
I'm so proud of them. They played tremendously well throughout the weekend. We kind of started slow and really improved our game from there. And I'll hold it. You want me to hold? And we made tremendous improvement as the tournament went on. So I'm really proud of them, the spirit they showed, the way they served and supported each other. And it's an amazing achievement and milestone for our academy.
Yeah, today's game, the final was very close. We were 1-0 down, and then it finished 1-1. And then, unfortunately, we lost in the penalty shootout. But I think it was a close game. Both teams tried to win it, but went to penalties, and then we lost, yeah.
I just want to send a huge shout out to Mark Fish, because it's inspiring to see soccer legends back at us, because half the time we just play football not thinking it's going to take us anywhere. So it's good to see that soccer legends come back and then show us that actually we can make something out of this. Shout out to you.
I absolutely agree, Wonke. And we're keeping it lekker, we're keeping it local right here on the Yellow Cultures. Guys, we're going now to a ad break. Stay right tuned, go nowhere.